Los Angeles had always been a city of glitz and glamour, a place where fame and fortune were the currencies of success. But beyond the flashing lights and red carpets, there were streets filled with untold stories, silent struggles that rarely made the headlines. Chris Pratt knew both worlds well. To most, he was the action star, the comedy genius, the charismatic Hollywood A-lister. But few knew about the nights he spent away from the spotlight, in places where cameras never followed. It started years ago, before he was famous. Back then, he had lived out of a van, working as a waiter and barely scraping by. He knew what it was like to struggle, to wonder if life would ever get easier. And even after success found him, he never forgot that version of himself, the one who had been just a step away from losing everything. That's why, when he had the chance, he gave back. But he never wanted credit. He would quietly visit shelters, bringing food, not just prepackaged meals, but warm, homemade dishes prepared with care. He would sit with people, listen to their stories, laugh with them, share advice, not as a celebrity, but as a friend. One night, a volunteer at a small shelter in downtown LA recognized him. "You're Chris Pratt," she said, her eyes wide with disbelief. He smiled. "I'm just Chris." The volunteer watched as he unpacked trays of roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, fresh vegetables, comfort food. "You do this often?" she asked. He simply shrugged. "Whenever I can." But it wasn't just food. Chris had met a man there once, a father who had lost his home after an unexpected job loss. His little boy sat quietly beside him, gripping a toy dinosaur, his favorite, though its paint was faded from years of love. Chris had knelt down, recognizing something in the child, the same wonder and excitement that had fueled his own childhood. "You like dinosaurs?" he asked. The boy's eyes lit up. "I love them," Chris chuckled. "Me too." The next day, a package arrived at the shelter, boxes filled with dinosaur toys, books, and a handwritten note. "Never stop imagining. You are stronger than you know." It was signed with just a C, no cameras, no publicity, just a quiet act of kindness. But word started to spread. A single mother who had received an anonymous donation to cover her rent. A struggling artist who found himself gifted with a new set of supplies and a paid month of studio space. A group of underprivileged kids who were taken on a surprise trip to a theme park. Tickets paid for by someone who refused to take credit. Piece by piece, the puzzle started coming together. And when confronted, Chris only smiled. "It's not about me," he'd say. "It's about reminding people that they matter." One evening, he arrived at a shelter as usual, only to find a note taped to the door. "Thank you, Chris. You've helped more people than you know." For the first time, he paused, looked around at the people he had quietly supported, saw the impact he had made, and as he stepped inside, ready to serve dinner once again, he realized something. Hollywood had given him fame, but this was what truly mattered. That's the end.